Good morning, students. On behalf of Sure EduCorp, I welcome you all for the part 3 video of plant anatomy and plant physiology. Today we are going to see about plastids. Plastids are double membrane bound organelles found in plants and some algae. These plastids are responsible for preparation of food that is required for growth of plants and storage of food. So plastids are double membrane bound organelles. They are organelles and they have double membrane. And these are found in plants and some algae. And these plastids are responsible for preparation and storage of food. Now these plastids are of three types. First one is chloroplast. Chloroplast are green colored plastids. Second type is chromoplast. Chromoplasts are yellow, red and orange colored plastids. Third one is leucoplasts. Leucoplasts are colorless plastids. So these are the types of plastids. Next we are going to see the structure of chloroplast. As we have seen earlier, chloroplast is one of the types of plastids and it is a green colored pigment. So your chloroplasts are green plastids containing green pigment called chlorophyll. Chloroplast has a green pigment called chlorophyll. That is why these chloroplasts are green in color. Now chloroplasts are oval shaped organelles. They are oval in shape, having a diameter of 2 to 10 micrometer and thickness of 1 to 2 micrometer. So this is your chloroplast dimensions, diameter and thickness. Now we are going to see the detailed structure of chloroplast. If you refer to the diagram, the outer membrane, which is dark in color, dark green in color, that is your outer membrane. And you have another inner membrane. In between you have intermembrane space. So this entire thing is called envelope. So when you write about the structure of chloroplast, first thing you have to write is envelope. This envelope consists of outer membrane and then inner membrane, and then there is a space in between outer membrane and inner membrane which is called intermembrane space. The second one is stroma, which is mentioned in white color. This is present. This is a kind of matrix kind of structure. So this is present within inner membrane. This is called stroma and it contains some DNA, 70S ribosomes and other molecules which are required for protein synthesis. So this is your second point, stroma. And then the third one is thylakoids. Thylakoids consists of thylakoid membrane and encloses thylakoid lumen. You can see some disc-shaped structures which are in green color. Those are your thylakoids in the diagram. These thylakoids are arranged one above the other, like how if you arrange a disc one above the other, likewise these thylakoids are arranged one above the other. Next one, this entire structure of thylakoids arranged one above the other, the entire structure is called grana. So next we are going to see what is grana. Some of the thylakoids, they are arranged in the form of discs stacked one above the other. So if you see the diagram, it is like if you stack a few discs one above the other. So this is the structure of grana. These grana are interconnected by lamellae, interconnected by a membranous lamellae called Fred channels. So this is your structure of chloroplast. Remember, you have to first write that chloroplast will contain green colored pigment called chloroplast, and chloroplasts are oval shaped organelles having a diameter of 2 to 10 micrometer and thickness of 1 to 2 micrometer. When you write about the structure of chloroplast, you have to mention 4 points. First one is envelope. Envelope consists of outer membrane, inner membrane, and then intermembrane space. And then stroma. Stroma is a matrix which is present within inner membrane. It contains DNA, 70S ribosomes, and some molecules which are required for protein synthesis. Third point is thylakoids. Thylakoids consists of thylakoid membrane and thylakoid lumen. These thylakoids are arranged one above the other in the form of discs, that is called grana. Fourth point is grana. Some of the thylakoids are arranged as discs stacked one above the other. These are called grana, and these grana are interconnected by membranous lamellae called Fred channels. This is your structure of chloroplast. Next, functions of chloroplast. This chloroplast, its main function is photosynthesis. Second one is storage of starch. Third one is synthesis of fatty acids or fats. Fourth one, storage of fats or lipids. Fifth one is formation of other chloroplasts. So these are the functions of chloroplast. As we have seen, chloroplast's main function is photosynthesis. Now we are going to see what is photosynthesis. As we all know, plants are involved in photosynthesis. Now we are going to understand the concept of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis meaning is, when you break the word, photo means light, synthesis means to build. So photosynthesis is a process by which certain autotrophic organisms like green plants, algae, and chlorophyll containing bacteria utilize sunlight to synthesize their own food. So this is the definition of photosynthesis. It's nothing but a process by which green plants, algae, and certain chlorophyll containing bacteria utilize sunlight to synthesize their own food. This is your photosynthesis. In this process, what happens is carbon dioxide from the air combines with water from the soil, the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, to form carbohydrates, and oxygen is released as a byproduct. So we all would have heard that plants releases oxygen. Plants take carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. In that way, it benefits the human society. The actual concept is this photosynthesis only. You could refer to that equation. 6 times of carbon dioxide combines with 12 times of water. H2O is water, in the presence of sun's energy, which is nothing but sunlight, and chlorophyll. This chlorophyll pigment is already present in the plants, to form C6H12O6. C6H12O6 is glucose. Glucose is nothing but carbohydrates, plus 6 times of water is getting released, plus 6 times of oxygen is getting released into the atmosphere. So this is the entire concept of photosynthesis. Plants will take carbon dioxide from air and water from the soil and uses sunlight and its own chlorophyll pigment to form carbohydrates, and then it releases oxygen and water. So next we are going to see just a pictorial representation of how photosynthesis occurs in plants. The plant, first what it does is it draws up water through its roots. Then the leaves take carbon dioxide from air. The leaves trap energy from sunlight. The leaves and other green colored part of plants, they trap sunlight, sun's energy from sunlight, and then the plant uses the energy of sunlight to turn water and carbon dioxide into sugars and oxygen. Sugars are nothing but glucose or carbohydrates. The plant releases oxygen into the air, and plant uses sugars for growth, that is carbohydrates for its own growth. So this is how the photosynthesis occurs. Next, as I have told, photosynthesis occurs in green parts of plant like leaves, stem and floral buds. All these parts of plant are green in color and contains chlorophyll. Since it contains chlorophyll, it takes part in photosynthesis. Next, we are going to see photosynthetic pigments. Certain pigments are involved in photosynthesis. There are two types of pigments, namely primary pigment and accessory pigment. Primary pigment is chlorophyll A. This chlorophyll A traps solar energy and converts it into chemical and electrical energy. Hence, it is called a reaction center. So, this primary pigment chlorophyll A, what it does is it traps solar energy and converts that solar energy into chemical and electrical energy. Hence, it is called reaction center. Next, accessory pigments are chlorophyll B and carotenoids. They simply pass on the absorbed energy to chlorophyll A molecule. That is, it takes the energy from sunlight and they pass on that energy to chlorophyll A pigment, and chlorophyll A pigment again converts that into solar energy, into chemical energy and electrical energy. So this chlorophyll B and carotenoids are accessory pigments. They just take the sun's energy and pass it on to chlorophyll A molecule. Hence, these are called harvesting center. Both these pigments together are termed as photosystems. Now, we are going to see the role of sunlight in photosynthesis. As I have already told, photosynthesis takes place inside the chloroplast. We have studied the structure of chloroplast in detail. So that the photosynthesis, the entire process of photosynthesis takes place inside the chloroplast. This photosynthesis, we can divide it into two types, light dependent reaction and light independent reaction, and these two reactions takes place at different sites in the chloroplast. First, we are going to see light dependent photosynthesis. Light dependent photosynthesis, the name itself indicates that it requires sunlight. So this light dependent photosynthesis is also called light reaction or Hill reaction. It is called as Hill reaction because it was discovered by Robin Hill in the year 1939. This takes place, this light dependent photosynthesis, this reaction takes place in thylakoid membranes, that is grana of chloroplast, in the presence of sunlight. Photosynthetic pigments, as we have studied in the previous slide, these photosynthetic pigments absorb light energy and convert it into chemical energy, ATP, and electrical energy, NADPH2. ATP is adenosine triphosphate and NADPH2 is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydrogen phosphate. I am repeating it again. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. NADPH2 is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydrogen phosphate. So this photosynthetic pigments, what they do, they absorb light energy from sunlight and convert it into chemical energy and electrical energy. Those are ATP and NADPH2. These products, this ATP and NADPH2, move from thylakoids to stroma of the chloroplast. So this is your light dependent photosynthesis. Main thing is they convert solar energy into chemical energy and electrical energy, that is ATP and NADPH2, and it takes part in grana of chloroplast. After the conversion of sunlight into chemical and electrical energy, these molecules, they move from thylakoid to stroma of chloroplast. Now, as we have seen, there are two reactions, light dependent reaction, light independent reaction. We have seen light dependent reaction. Now we are going to see light independent reaction. Light independent reaction is also known as biosynthetic phase, because only in this phase the carbon dioxide will be reduced to carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is getting formed in this reaction, so it is called biosynthetic phase. It is also known as Calvin cycle because it was discovered by Melvin Calvin, for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize in the year 1961. Now, this is the second step. First step is light dependent reaction. Now, light independent reaction is the second step. It takes place in stroma of chloroplast. Here, carbon dioxide from atmosphere is reduced to carbohydrates with the help of ATP and NADPH2, which was generated from light dependent reaction. This is carried out in the absence of light. So, the reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrates does not require any sunlight. Only this solar energy getting converted into chemical energy and NADPH2, for which sunlight is required. So light dependent reaction requires sunlight. Light independent reaction does not require sunlight. So this is the entire process of photosynthesis. I am repeating it again. Photosynthesis is a process by which certain green plants, algae, certain plants, certain chlorophyll containing bacteria and some algae, they all synthesize their own food using sunlight. This is your photosynthesis. In this photosynthesis, carbon dioxide combines with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to form carbohydrates. Water and oxygen is getting released into the air. So by this method, plants, they take carbon dioxide, most of the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and releases oxygen to the atmosphere, thus purifying the atmospheric air. So while also synthesizing their own food, they are also helping the atmosphere in purifying the air. So this is your photosynthesis. Photosynthesis consists of two types of pigments: chlorophyll A, primary pigment; chlorophyll B and carotenoids are the accessory pigments. Now this photosynthesis, you can divide it into two reactions. One is light dependent reaction, the other one is light independent reaction. Light dependent reaction requires sunlight because that solar energy is getting converted into chemical energy and electrical energy called ATP and NADPH2. This takes place in the thylakoid membranes of the chloroplast. Once this conversion happens, these molecules move from thylakoid to stroma. Next is light independent reaction. For this reaction, sunlight is not required. Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is getting reduced to carbohydrates with the help of ATP and NADPH2. Now, factors affecting photosynthesis. There are few factors which affect photosynthesis. Those are internal factors are pigments, as we have seen, primary pigments and accessory pigments. And then leaf age. If the leaf is very old, then it affects photosynthesis. Then hormones, and then accumulation of carbohydrates. External factors are sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, temperature and minerals. So these are the external factors which are affecting photosynthesis. Please go through the reader once and understand the concept. If you have any doubt, please give your comments in the comment section. Definitely I will clarify all your doubts. Thank you.